Have you ever done something you were ashamed of, and then when you saw the person you hurt walking toward you, you just went the other way? Not because you were mad at them, because you couldn't stand the thought of facing them. So you made yourself small. You stayed out of the way. You hoped that if enough time passed, maybe you wouldn't have to deal with it. I'm Grace, and that feeling is sitting right at the heart of this gospel for Divine Mercy Sunday. It's Easter evening. Jesus has risen from the dead, and his closest friends are hiding in a locked room. It's the evening of the first day of the week, and the disciples are gathered together with the doors locked. These are the same men who ran the night Jesus was arrested. Every one of them. Jesus comes and stands right in the middle of the room. No knock, no warning. He's just there. And he says, "Peace be with you." He shows them his hands and his side, the wound's still there, so they know it's really him. And when the disciples see him, they're filled with joy. Then he breathes on them and says, "Receive the Holy Spirit." Now, one of the 12 wasn't there that night. His name is Thomas. When the others find him and tell him they've seen the Lord, Thomas doesn't believe them. He says that unless he sees the nail marks himself and puts his hand into Jesus' side, he won't believe it. A week passes. The disciples are back in the same house, doors locked again, and Thomas is with them this time. Jesus appears the same way as before, right in the middle of the room, and he goes straight to Thomas. "Put your finger here," he says. "See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Don't be unbelieving, but believe." Thomas doesn't reach out his hand. He doesn't need to anymore. He just says, "My Lord and my God." Jesus says, "You've believed because you've seen me. Blessed are those who haven't seen and have believed." John closes the passage with this. Everything written in this gospel was written so that you'd believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that through believing you might have life in his name. That's where John ends it. The thing that gets me about this story isn't that Jesus walks through a locked door. It's what he says when he gets through it. Think about who's in that room. These aren't strangers. These are the people who were closest to him, and every single one of them ran when he needed them. It's that thing where you keep replaying it, where you can't look at yourself too clearly, where you start quietly pulling back from the person you hurt because facing them feels impossible. Most of us have been in that room, and Jesus walks through the door and the first word out of his mouth is peace. Not "we need to talk," not "I forgave you," but just peace. Right away, to the people who ran. A lot of us believe, at least in theory, that God forgives. But believing that God is willing to forgive you and actually letting that forgiveness reach you are two completely different things. The disciples knew Jesus. They had watched him forgive people all the time. They still locked the door. Letting yourself be forgiven is harder than it sounds. Because that locked room isn't just about being afraid of the people outside. It's about being afraid of Jesus himself. And what does he do? He walks straight through and says, "Peace." He shows them the wounds, not as evidence against them, but so they know it's really him. The wounds are still there. He's not pretending the cross didn't happen. And his first word is still peace. That's what's being offered to you right now. Not a version of forgiveness where you have to earn your way back first. Not a version where you have to feel ready, or have the right words, or have everything sorted out. Whatever door you've locked, whatever is behind it, he walks through those too. You don't have to fix yourself before you let him in. You just have to stop holding the door shut. That's the gospel for Divine Mercy Sunday, and I really hope it meant something to you. If it did, please like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. It helps us keep going more than you know. Is there something you've been holding behind a locked door? Something you haven't let yourself be forgiven for yet? I'm Grace. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.